What's happened? Where am I? What am I? I feel faint. You must be my rescuer, pure of heart and true of spirit, trained for the trial by a great wizard. No? The chosen one fulfilling an ancient prophecy? How about sent on your quest by a wise and fair king? That's all I got. I keep getting the urge to flee the forest. Then I remember that burning smell is me. I don't suppose you have any perfume I can use. I normally like morning dew from the petal of a rose, though right now I'd settle for a daisy or dandelion. Oh, part of the reason unicorns are so reclusive is because we're a bit touchy about being touched. Did you not know that? Sorry. What have you done? Freed me, but at what cost? Oh, the fates! Have I displeased them so that they would condemn me to such a hideous, misshapen form? The hills! They used to be alive with the sound of music. Now all I hear is chainsaws that go bleh. I don't think that counts as a song. Do you want me to hold on to this? Well, I suppose, since I have hands now, that is what they're for, or so I've heard. My name? Oh, I remember now. The gentle creatures of the forest. My dear friends. They called me Moonbeam. They said it was because my very steps blessed the ground with nature's light most pure. Honestly, though, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I am, or at least I was, a unicorn. Now, I'm not so sure what I am, other than grateful for you, of course. You startled me! Wait, what was that sound I just made? Is that how humans whinny? I'm not sure I'm a fan. The hell? I just saw someone carve their initials in a tree. That sort of disrespect for the forest makes me so angry. In fact, cover your ears because I'm about to say a swear. Fiddlesticks! Sorry about that. I was born from the tears of a star, fallen to earth on a midsummer's night, and when I first opened my eyes, I saw the kindly face of the moon smiling down at me. You remind me so much of that. Do you want... I'm starting to become more acquainted with this new form, but I do have some lingering questions. Like I noticed I kept my horn, but not my tail. How am I supposed to shoo away annoying insects now? I know I should be more gracious with all of nature's creatures, but have you ever actually listened to a butterfly? Yap, 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 like, get to the point. Do you mind terribly if I follow you around, like, all the time? It would seem I am now literally just a girl. I tried wearing that garment you call socks today, but, no thank you. That infernal seam upon the toes torments me to tears. How can you bear it? I've been reading an interesting book about edible flowers. At first, I was surprised that humans would need such a tome, but then I tried eating grass with this new stomach. Oh. So, what do you do for fun? Please don't say something awful like tree punching. At first, the human custom of exchanging gifts was perplexing, since unicorns have no concept of ownership. But I think I'm starting to wrap my mind around it. Thank you for helping me practice. So much has changed since I was trapped in that tapestry. Humans went from dumping buckets of filth in the street to obsessively sorting their rubbish. And yet, some still spit their chewing gum in the street. It smells better, at least. So I suppose it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Except that step back winds up getting stuck to the bottom of my feet. Yuck! Will you help me work on my 2-legged walking today? I've been practicing on my own, but the pillows I've tied to my bottom only do so much to prevent bruises. I do love how you make me laugh. Of course, when I was a unicorn, my laugh sounded like the tinkling of tiny bells. Now it's more like a which is magical and charming in its own way. I hope. I've heard tales of men transformed into beasts turn human again by true love's kiss. Do you think that same magic might work on me in reverse? Just the thought of it is so romantic. It makes me want to blush and blush. To think, I used to wish so fervently that I'd been born a Pegasus, able to take to the air and gallop among the clouds. Now I only long for my own 4 legs and to canter in ordinary old grass. Forsooth, at this point I'd be thankful to take a trot through mud. You startled me! Wait, what was that sound I just made? Is that how humans whinny? I'm not sure I'm a fan. At first, the human custom, I purchased an elixir from the local apothecary, a so-called unicorn frappe. At first, I was encouraged by its color. It's like nothing found in nature, so surely it must be magic. But, alas. As you can see, it didn't work to cure my condition. However, I do seem to be experiencing a side effect called a sugar rush. Can you take me somewhere I can gallop around in circles until I collapse? Well met, my traveler. I am craving some air. Would you care to promenade with me through a fragrant rose garden, or perhaps that much-traversed common land you call the dog park? Oh, another trinket! It's a good thing you're so pure of heart. Otherwise, I might start to worry you are planning on locking me away in some tower where I'd have need of amusements. How remarkable! Up until tonight, I had not seen her for more than 100 summers. And yet, Moon looks as though she has not aged a day. What do you think her secret is? Since I'm human, for now, I mean, I've been trying to embrace your customs by practicing answering the telephonic device. What do you think of this? Moonbeam the unicorn, what's your favorite flower? I made a visit to your castle's spa. Lady Nina was most accommodating. Although I did at first think she tricked me into the infamous swamp of sadness. But nay, 'twas a mud bath. My skin is glowing. Since I made a visit, not to be a diva, but why is the marshmallow cereal spokesman a leprechaun? So what? We unicorns are good enough to be a lucky charm, but not to star in the commercials? You must be royalty, to live in such a grand estate, and to be waited upon by such a sizable court. Although, I cannot say I have ever heard ladies-in-waiting called GFs before. Yours seem to really like you, too. I don't think a single solitary one of them is plotting your demise. Not that I'm surprised. I've grown quite fond of you myself. There you are! I have the most wonderful discovery to share with you. It's this exotic new flavor that delights the tongue in ways I have never experienced. I believe the merchant called it vanilla? Have you heard of it? How serendipitous you brought me to the beach at just the right moment to make a new friend. Prove that every act of kindness sends ripples of joy out into the lives of others. There is one benefit to being human. I no longer have to worry about strangers trying to ride me. Okay, seriously, why does everyone snicker when I say that? You keep sneaking up on me. You're lucky I've come to like it, and that I don't have hooves anymore to reflexively kick you with. Since I'm human, I know I'm much better at walking on my own 2 feet now, but can I maybe put my arm in yours for a little bit? Just for old time's sake. Oh, another trinket! I'm starting to worry my anguish about this human form may have come across a bit prejudiced, which couldn't be farther from the truth. Some of my best friends are human. Well, you're my best friend, and you're human. What I mean is, sure, it can be distressing to look in a mirror and see this figure reflected, but that doesn't mean I find looking at you distressing. In fact, I dare say looking at you is rather pleasing. I'm gonna stop talking now. I've missed you. Tell me, did you cross paths with any little birds since we last spoke? I want all the details. How wonderful! Now to figure out how I can best share it with all of my animal friends. What an enchanting afternoon of questing! It certainly is fun to go on a journey that isn't fraught with peril, and the fate of the magic world doesn't hang in the balance. I needed to fill a few spare minutes this afternoon, so I taught myself to bake. I think I may have mistaken flour for flowers, though. Oops. You'll still try a bite, though, won't you? I can feel this body dying all around me. By which I mean, I hit the gym yesterday and totally overdid it. I thought I was getting so much better at keeping my balance on 2 legs, but lately, whenever you're around, I go weak in the knees. What's up with that? I think you may be a bit of a bad influence on me, rescuer. Oh, but please don't take that the wrong way. There is nothing in your nature to hint that any part of you is rotten. I wouldn't even compare you to an apple with a bruise. And yet, the more time I spend in your presence, the more I'm left to wonder about the integrity of my own inner apple. Why, sometimes I even feel jealous when someone else makes you laugh. Sorry, not sorry. Oh, we kissed and, nothing happened. I didn't even turn partway back into a unicorn? Maybe because that kiss was more of a sweet peck than a true love makeout? But it's okay. I'm not disappointed. We can always try again later. How wonderful! Now to figure out how... I needed to fill a few spare minutes this... I fear I have not said it enough, but your companionship has truly been a balm during these... What's that poetic human turn of phrase? Ah, yes, during these unprecedented times. I learned of a divination spell to determine whether a person loves you. I was going to try it out on someone, but then I found out it requires its caster to pluck the petals from an innocent flower. Ah, such gratuitous violence! I needed to fill a... I learned of... I love to lie in an open field, look at the clouds, and wonder whether it be magic or a trick of the mind that causes them to appear as bunnies and lambs. 'Tis odd. Now when I look at them, all I see is you. You better be careful. I'm finally practiced enough with how these finger things move that I'm pretty sure I can tickle you back. You promise that wasn't real? The puppy is just an actor? He was never in any danger of drowning in that raging river? And the kitty cat, too? You swear on your life? Oh, what a relief. I often wondered at the human phrase, a blessing and a curse. After all, we unicorns are embodiments of purity. The idea of good and evil coexisting is as foreign to our nature as a bridle and a saddle. But I finally understand. If not for my curse, I'd have never had the blessing of knowing you. Now I'm left wondering, what else was I missing out on? I can't wait for you to show me. Would you like to try a couples activity with me? I thought we could each go into a different part of the forest where we'd spontaneously break into separate songs that somehow, through the magic of editing, miraculously become a duet. The delights with you never cease. I could compare you to one of those remarkable newfangled pop-up books. Oh, can you find me one of those as well? If it's not too much to ask. Being a human's not all bad. How could I hug you without arms? And forget about cuddling on the couch. Unicorns don't fits or sits. I do wish I could still munch on grass wherever and whenever I get hungry, though. Meal planning's such a chore. Even in this body, some part of me must have remained unicorn. Why else would I be so drawn to your purity of heart? I love to... Even in the... I fear I have not said it enough. I should let you know, the flora and fauna of a unicorn's forest never age. If that magic still lingers, your consorts can probably skip their pricey 10-step skincare routines. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I've changed my mind. I still long to share true love's kiss with you, but I don't care one whit if it doesn't bring with it powers of transformation. Knowing you has been transformation enough. And besides, this body goes with yours way better. So let's kiss for its own sake. From now until happily ever after. Mwah! Pray tell, did you find yourself on the good end of a fairy godmother's wand on your way here? It's just, you look like you're glowing. Oh, very well. Come here to me, and I shall cuddle you until you are sated. That is what you were aiming for, yes? I've come to terms with my new body, but I do still miss the freedom of feeling the wind in my mane as I galloped across open fields. So I rented us e-scooters. Whee! Do you know any high elves? I've been binging these things called fantasy movies whenever I feel heartsick for the good old days. And wow! Elven women are so elegant and poised, but also a little bit crazy. I'm obsessed. I should let you know. What a day! I discovered this place called the library, and you won't believe what happened. They just gave me a book, trusting me on my honor that I would return it 2 weeks hence. I knew there was still good in the world. Phew. Sorry, I'm out of breath. Now that I'm human, there's just so much to do. I ran straight from flower arranging class to tap lessons to a wine tasting. They all tasted terrible, by the way. I'm so relieved my horn doesn't get in the way when we kiss. I think it's my best feature, but I'd wish it away in a mouse's heartbeat if it kept me from smooching you.